about Luka Doncic, who's dealing with a hamstring injury? According to Shams, he's considered week to week. He has not started doing full contact workouts. Remember, he hasn't played since April 2nd. As far as this series is concerned, OKC, they completely dominated the Lakers in the regular year. They won all 4 games by an average of 29 points a game. That's the largest by any team against the Lakers in any year in NBA history. So that doesn't bode particularly well. And those two factors could explain why the Lakers are 15.5-point dogs tonight, their largest underdog role in a playoff game in at least 35 years. Here's J.J. Redick on the task ahead.
The Thunder are it's one of the greatest teams ever in NBA history. That's just the reality. They're that good. I think our guys recognize that and respect that, and we know what kind of task we have in front of us.
All right, so that's the mountain that the Lakers are looking to climb. Windy, let's start with the first piece of this. Luka Doncic, if the Lakers can find a way to extend this series, are they hoping / expecting to get him back at all?
They haven't ruled anything out, but the truth is he's just not close. You know, it's not just non-contact. He's not doing full return-to-play conditioning. And as you said, the injury happened the first week of April. We are now in the first week of May. He has not played for a month. You would have to condition, especially coming off of a hamstring, and then obviously play some contact. So he is a significant time away, no matter what happens in this series.
I like to use you as my judge on these things, Michael, because I've been prone to hyperbole. I've been accused of that from time to time. Prisoner of the moment or the instant or whatever the case may be. To me, if LeBron James at 41 and the Lakers win this series, it would be one of the biggest upsets of all time. Is that overstating?
No, it isn't. I mean, it would be an amazing upset for the Lakers to win this series, Greeny. And you start wondering, okay, how can they do that? Like, it's not just going to be LeBron. It's, you know, Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves. They're going to have some of the best performances multiple times in the series of their lives. Look, OKC, and we can get into X's and O's, and Jay and Alan are much better at that than I am. There's a personality trait that comes into play here with OKC. It's a ruthless team, right? They don't like the Lakers, and they want to crush them.
Yep.
This reminds me of certain other great teams over time where they get an opponent. I know how much, little birdie told me so, that the Chicago Bulls like to beat the Knicks. They would rather do that than breathe. During that stretch of time where they beat the Knicks 4 times in the playoffs, 4 different coaches, right? That's what they wanted to do. OKC wants to do this to the Lakers. And even though Jalen Williams apparently is not going to play, game 1, we don't think? You know, they're so deep. I mean, Mitchell, Caruso, Cason Wallace, McClain. Another Jalen Williams. They could just go to the bench and say, we'll get another J-Dub.
Anything
they're ruthless.
If you're the Lakers, how are you going into game 1? What is your mindset?
You got to take care of the ball. I think I think, you know, Austin Reeves has to be strong with the ball because I think Cason Wallace is a really good defender that's going to apply a lot of pressure. And I think the matchup with Lou Dort and LeBron James is going to be, they're going to try to make him more of a perimeter-oriented player. Like, they're better at every facet of the game than Houston was, and Houston gave the Lakers some issues.
Give me the Thunder to lay the points. JJ's going to have to really come up with an incredible defensive scheme, and then they've got to execute it flawlessly. That's unlikely.
Lou Dort is someone who I think would fit very well into the WWE universe. And with that thought in mind, we take our only break from the basketball all morning long. A very special.
For a fact, just me being out there, it calms everybody down. Not saying like there's any pressure on any of my teammates, but it takes pressure off of everybody just knowing that I'm out there, I'm available to play. And just, you know, doing what I do best, just trying to put the ball in the hoop.
It's a lot of me because obviously my game wasn't good, wasn't feeling good tonight, and that's where the team is going to look for me, you know. And, you know, if I had been better, if the offensive leaders of our team had been better, it would have been different. So basically, if everything was different, it would have been different.
Danny Green won titles with 3 different teams. The Spurs were one of them. Danny, you know how menacing this venue can be for visitors. Ant goes for 18 off the bench, game 1 road upset. What was your biggest takeaway from this healthier Minnesota team and how Ant played here in this game?
That they're just relentless, man. They don't care who it is that they match up with. They're going to defy the odds. They're going right at your chest, right in your face. and they're going to be gritty. You know, they're going to take on the challenge. They have next man up mentality. Everybody stepped up and played well. Julius Randle, McDaniels, Terrence Shannon Jr., even Mike Conley pitched in. Like, they had some great production from all parties. Naz Reid, Bones Highland, and Ant didn't look like he was that affected. Like, he still played well, knocked down shots, controlled the tempo of the game. And also, this ain't going to be easy. It doesn't matter who it is you face. This is the playoffs. This is the second round. You're not going to just sweep anybody. The Spurs, the San Antonio, the youth that they have, the immaturity, the experience, they need to find a sense of urgency, and this is a wake-up call for them, and we'll see how they bounce back.
Road teams entered 1-15 all-time in Game 1s in San Antonio. Danny, don't go too far. We had another Game 1 statement at MSG.
Eastern Conference semifinals, Game 1 of the second round, as the Sixers head into New York to take on the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. This is the 10th all-time playoffs matchup between these two teams, and we'll pick this one up in the first quarter. Jalen Brunson gets to the wing, knocks down the three. Brunson had 14 points in the first quarter. Wouldn't stop there. A couple minutes later, OG Anunoby banks a three of his own. Knicks up 33-25 going into the second. Midway through the second quarter now, Karl Anthony Towns attacking Joel Embiid on the drive for the dunk. Yeah, you see that. Knicks up 12. 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Keep an eye on Embiid here. He sets the screen for Tyrese Maxey up top. Maxey kicks it to Kelly Oubre. He drives, gets fouled, but Embiid is in pain. Let's take another look at this. Embiid taking a hit to his midsection on the screen. He would remain in the game. Got to tough it out in the playoffs. We'll see. Now OG Anunoby swinging it to Bridges for three. He misses. Josh Hart grabs the rebound, passes it back to Bridges for the corner three. That's good. Jimmy Fallon loves to see it. Brunson, the lucky bounce for the triple. Brunson said the Knicks' focus and attention to detail really improved since falling behind in the Atlanta series, and it's showing. Spike Lee loves to see it. Brunson, 27 points in the first half. He scored the Knicks' last 11 of the half. Knicks up 74-51 going into the break. Comfy lead, but you know what? Keep it going. Embiid gets doubled in the short corner, turns it over to Brunson. OG gets it in transition for the dunk. Knicks up 25 now. Towns, 4-3 from the top, bucket. He had 17 points. The Sixers would sub out their stars midway through the third quarter, waving the white flag in this one. Under a minute to play in the third. Brunson gets into the paint, knocks down the floater. He had 35 points. Knicks go on to win it 137-98 to take the series lead. Kat, what do you think?
We're playing well, but it doesn't mean anything if, we can't find a way to get 3 more wins. So we just got to stick to the task at hand. What you said is the last 4 games. The key word is last. It doesn't have anything to do with the next 3, 4, 5, 6. We got to stay locked in and be disciplined and execute at a high level.
Honestly, you got to take this game with a grain of salt and just kind of move forward. And I don't think we're going to see that team that we saw in Game 1 and Game 2. They're going to be ready to go.
Let's go by the numbers on the Knicks' dominance. We have never seen a postseason run quite like this. New York is the first team in NBA history to win 3 straight playoff games by 25 points. Over the last 3 games, they have outscored their opponents by a combined 119 points, and the Knicks 137 points on Monday, second most in a playoff game in franchise history. That trails only the 140 they had to close out the Hawks last Thursday, about a week ago. Reminder, the Knicks won that game by 51, and the key to Monday's success was efficiency. New York shot 63.1% from the field, their highest mark in a postseason game since the field goal percentage was first tracked in 1957. Here's Sixers head coach Nick Nurse on the loss.
I know that wasn't any fun. It wasn't any fun to sit there. It wasn't any fun, to be a part of, to be honest, and watch. But it's 0-1. Doesn't really matter if it's 6 points or 36 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, we had breakdowns tonight, but they also shot the out of the ball. They were hot. They came out hot. They came out on fire.
Coming from the series we had and the physicality we displayed, I would like to think that maybe, guys were tired. But, yeah, It's not an excuse, so, on to game 2. Down 1-0, so focus on the next one.
Danny Green back with us. Danny, Sixers and Knicks both coming off of big series clinching wins, but the Knicks keep rolling. How do you see the momentum playing out in this win for New York tonight?
I mean, I like to think every game it's its own series in its own. So, like, you can't say, oh, well, this game is going to lead into that next game. I would like to think that, but you never know. There's a lot of carryover from both series when it came to the Knicks and the Sixers. The Sixers look fatigued. They look a little tired going 7 games, with that Boston Celtics team. And, of course, Atlanta, the New York Knicks look great from Atlanta. And that confidence and that shooting that they had in that last game against Atlanta kind of carried over. So, the best thing about Philly tonight was that they didn't play 40 minutes. They can get some rest, hopefully. They need to bounce back. I don't see the Knicks shooting that lights out like they did in game 2, and I don't see them shooting that poorly. So they'll make more shots. They'll follow their game plan, and the Knicks will probably miss a couple more shots because shooting 51 from 3 is hard to do even without defense.
I don't know, Danny. The Knicks are plus 90 in their last 2 games combined. New York is rolling right now. Game 2 went